सगळ्यांना आवाज येतोय माझा?
हो मॅम.
आवाज येतोय ना? ओके. आपण कालप्रमाणेच अटेंडन्स घेणार आहे, पण मला वाटतं मग थोड्या वेळाने घेऊ का? बरेच मुलं लेट येतात आणि मग त्यांचा अटेंडन्स राहतो. एक मध्ये मग थोडा गॅप घेऊ आपण आणि मग घेऊया. ठीक आहे?
चालेल.
ज्यावेळेस मग मला वाटेल की आता आलेच सगळे मुलं, त्यावेळेस बघेन मी. सगळे व्यवस्थित आहेत, सेफ आहेत, काही कोणाला अडचण नाहीये? सगळ्यांच्या घरी सगळे सुरळीत आहे ना?
हो मॅम.
तसे 23 जण आलेत. एकच मिनिट थांबूया आपण, मग सुरुवात करूया. मग मी कालचा रिव्ह्यू देते परत आणि स्टार्ट करते. सगळ्यांना हळूहळू लक्षात यायला लागलंय की काय ओव्हरहेड्सचं काय आहे, काय ओव्हरहेड्स म्हणजे काय लक्षात येते का तुमच्या काय? तुम्ही जर कधी बारकाईने विचार केला असेल, दॅट मीन्स सपोज in your day-to-day life, at the time of cooking, at the time of going to hotel, at the time of preparing anything, you have to think about overhead. That means suppose आता तुम्ही एक simple example of making vada pav, and vada pav, samosa, cake. Think about this. Just think about the ingredients. That means suppose at the time of preparing dosa, dal, chawal, all these things, and fuel. When you making vada pav, there is a curry leaves. Think about curry leaves. And curry leaves, also the cost of curry leaves, it is a nature of indirect material. And cost of all the pepper, all the salt is also a part of overhead. But we always think about dal, chawal, gas, at the time of making vada pav, that means batter of and potatoes, all these things. But we do not think more about curry leaves. But curry leaves also a part of overheads. At the same time, in your office, suppose your boss is inviting every person, every customer, and he is offering cup of tea to every man. That cup of tea will become a burden on your cost of production, because this cup of tea is also becomes the part of overheads in future. At the time of accounting of overheads, this cup of tea of every guest will become a part of your overheads. And that is why a businessman, every time he should be cautious about his cost. कॉस्ट कॉन्शियसनेस. जसं की एखाद्या मला हेल्थ कॉन्शियसनेस असतो, तो प्रत्येक वेळेस eating every bite, he's thinking about his health. At the same way, businessmen should think about cost. Offering tea to every guest, offering tea to every supplier at the time of wasting, throwing raw material at everywhere. Suppose a carpenter is at the time of using nails, he suppose he is a careless about his nails, about his fevicol, about his cutting at the time of cutting. Suppose he is a careless, his cost of production will be increased, because all these part is known as overheads. Overhead is also known as a burden cost, and that is why every businessman at the time of producing product, at the time of preparing his order, he should think about every step of his production. He should think about his cost, because mistake in selection of raw material, wastage, leakage, breakage, all these mistakes increases his cost of production. See now, I'm sharing my screen today. This is yesterday's last slide, decimal method, codification, method of codification. This is the next slide, collection of overheads. See? Collection of overhead. This is your side, collection of overheads. See, you can collect your overheads from invoice book, store requisition, cash book, subsidiary records, and wage analysis. This is a sources. All these are sources of your overheads. From these all sources, you can collect your overheads with the help of code numbers. Suppose there is a helper, and helper code number is 121. That means indirect labor for 1, 2, and 1 for helper charges. Here 121, you can easily pick up 121 charges. 121 charges you can transfer wage analysis book to production overheads account. 121 will be transferred to production overhead account. Similar way, in your cash book, suppose there is a expenses regarding your guest tea, your suppose small curry leaves expenses, small charges, that means petty cash expenses. You can transfer all those expenses easily from cash book to your production overheads account. Similar way, in subsidiary records, there is a depreciation, there is a interest due or interest receivable. All those expenditure which do not related to cash can be transferred here from production department account with the help of code numbers. The invoice, from invoice, small expenses, with the help of your code number, pick up all those expenses related to overheads and transfer it to production overheads account. From store requisition number, for example, your Fevicol charges, here is a indirect material. For indirect material, there is a number 111 111 for Fevicol, 112 for nails, 113 for threads. All these expenses can be picked up from here and transfer it to from your production overheads account. Then in the same way, you can collect overheads from all those sources. Then after the collection, there is a next step, that is a allocation of overhead. That means now you understand that these are some overheads. You classify them first, then uh, you gave them code numbers. That means codification of overheads. After code numbers, you gave them code number to recognize them easily, to identify them easily. By identifying them, you collected all those overheads, and now there is a time to allocate them. Those overheads who are identity, suppose identified easily to particular cost centers, you can allocate them because they are known. Yeah, they can be easily identified. See here, suppose you purchase Fevicol for A department, 5 kg Fevicol for A department, 5 kg Fevicol for B department, 5 kg Fevicol for C department. Here is a Fevicol 5 kg, 5 kg, 5 kg. Total Fevicol purchase is equal to 15,000. But you know it very well. That is 5 kg for A department because A department send purchase requisition of Fevicol to store department or purchase department. B department send purchase requisition for 5 kg Fevicol, and C department send 5 kg purchase requisition for 5 kg. And with the help of purchase requisition book, you can easily understand which department the purchase requisition sent by which department. And suppose ये पता चल गया किसने भेजा है, तो से देखो Fevicol for A department, you can easily transfer the expenditure of Fevicol to A department. 5 kg to B department, 5 kg to C department. Why? Why it is possible? Because with the help of separate purchase requisition, we can easily understand that these particular this particular expenses is related to this particular department, and therefore you can easily transfer these expenses, this 5 kg Fevicol's expenses to A department. This 5 kg Fevicol's expenses cost to B department. This 5 kg Fevicol's cost to C department. This is known as allocation in the process of charging full amount of overhead cost to particular cost center. Again listen, suppose आपको Fevicol purchase करना था, तो फेविकॉल परचेस करने के लिए टोटल ऑर्डर था 15 kg. 15 kg ऑर्डर था. ऑर्डर हमेशा कहाँ से आता है? प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट से आता है. तो परचेस डिपार्टमेंट में आता है. परचेस डिपार्टमेंट में जब भी ऑर्डर आता है तो ऑर्डर आ गया, परचेस कर दिया, यूज भी हो गया. अब टाइम आ गया कि उसका कॉस्ट प्रोडक्ट पे चार्ज करना है. तो प्रोडक्ट पे चार्ज करना है तो हमें आइडेंटिफाई करना चाहिए ये एक्सपेंडिचर कौन से डिपार्टमेंट का है. तो कोई एक्सपेंडिचर हम आइडेंटिफाई कर नहीं सकते, लेकिन कोई कोई एक्सपेंडिचर हम आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं. तो परचेस रिक्विजिशन जब भी हमने मटेरियल की बात आती है, इनडायरेक्ट मटेरियल की बात आती है, डायरेक्ट मटेरियल, हम परचेस रिक्विजिशन शीट देखते हैं. तो परचेस रिक्विजिशन में क्या आता है? कौन से डिपार्टमेंट ने रिक्वायरमेंट भेजा है. तो हमें पता चला कि 5 kg का रिक्वायरमेंट ए डिपार्टमेंट का है, 5 kg का रिक्वायरमेंट बी डिपार्टमेंट से है, 5 kg का रिक्वायरमेंट सी डिपार्टमेंट का. तो अभी कोई बात नहीं रह गई कि किसके कौन से डिपार्टमेंट के ऊपर इसका चार्ज डालना चाहिए. तो हमें झट से पता चल गया. तो हमने 5 kg फेविकॉल का जो कॉस्ट था वो ए डिपार्टमेंट पे चार्ज कर दिया। 5 kg फेविकॉल का कॉस्ट था वो बी डिपार्टमेंट पे चार्ज कर दिया। 5 kg फेविकॉल का कॉस्ट जो था सी डिपार्टमेंट पे कॉस्ट क्या इज इक्वल टू 500 500 500। तो जब हमें पता होता है कि कौन से डिपार्टमेंट पे कौन से कॉस्ट सेंटर में या हम इन कॉस्ट अकाउंटिंग वी डिपार्टमेंट को हम कॉस्ट सेंटर्स कहते हैं। तो कौन से कॉस्ट सेंटर पे ये कॉस्ट डालना चाहिए, जैसे कि अकाउंट्स में हम अकाउंट्स कहते हैं, कॉलेज अकाउंट्स, गोरेज अकाउंट, मिसेस दलवीज अकाउंट, एक्स अकाउंट, वाई अकाउंट। इन सिमिलर वे इन costing there is a cost center. Here A department is one cost center, B department is another cost center, and C department is another cost center. Then we have to charge cost. We can easily charge cost to A department. It becomes easy to us due to we have a purchase requisition sheet, and that is why we transferred 500 to A, 500 to B, 500 to C. There is a no ratio. We do not know any basis. We do not know any basis of allocation. We do not require any ratio. This is known as allocation of overheads. Allocation of indirect material, indirect labor, indirect expenses. Just transfer के लिए, because we know it very well, their department sources. See here. Apportionment of overhead. What is difference between apportionment and allocation? This example, we can easily understand what is difference between apportionment and allocation. See, here is your factory and your factory rent is 16,000. In your factory, there is a department that is related to production department, that is your bed section. Here, this is your furniture factory. You know it very well. This is a B department. B department, the production of B department is table. This is C department. The production of C department is a wardrobe. And this is a D department. D department is an administrative section. That means your payments, your medical section, your salary, all these sections, and all these accounting, auditing, all sections, because your factory is a small and this is a office, your office. For understanding purpose, I wrote here administrative section. This is your office. This is your factory. A department for bed section, B department for your table section, C department for wardrobe section. This is your furniture factory and this is your office. Now see, here is rent. Rent of your factory is 16,000. Rent is also a indirect expenses. जब हम बिहेवियर वाइज क्लासिफिकेशन करते हैं तो फिक्स में जाता है, फिक्स, वेरिएबल एंड सेमी वेरिएबल. दिस इज अ फिक्स काइंड ऑफ एक्सपेंडिचर. जब हम फंक्शन वाइज में जाते हैं तो ये क्या होता है, रेंट. एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सेक्शन में जाता है, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एक्सपेंसेस, रेंट ऑफ योर फैक्ट्री. नाउ देयर इज अ टाइम टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कॉमन एक्सपेंसेस because 16,000 rent is not related to table department only. We are preparing tables and this is rent of factory 16,000 is not related to table department only. This is a common expenses. Rent is a common expenses. These 4 departments are under one roof and that is why we have to distribute these common expenses to all these 4 departments. That means production department A, production department B, production department C, production department D. Then how to distribute these common expenses to in these 4 departments? Then we have to take some basis. Then what is the basis? See, area occupied by each department. Here is a note. Each department occupies 400 square foot area. 400 square feet area, each department occupies 400 square feet area. Then 400, 400, 400, 400. The ratio becomes 1:1:1:1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 becomes 4. And now you have to divide 16,000 by 4. And the portion of rent, that is 4,000, transferred to A department. 4,000 transferred to B department. 4,000 transferred to C department. 4,000 transferred to D department. Obviously, D is the admin section, office section, but you at first stage, you have to distribute overheads to all the departments, production department as well as service department. D is a service department. Obviously, D is a office and D is a service department, and A, B, C are production departments. And this is known as apportionment of overheads. Apportionment of overheads is a process of charging common expenses to cost centers. These four are known as a cost centers, not departments. In cost accounting, we called them cost centers. Department, divisions, product maybe becomes a cost center. A is a cost center, B is a cost center, C is a cost center, and D is a cost center. A is a production department, B is a production department, C is a production department, but D is a service department. At first stage of apportionment, we need to distribute common expenses to all departments. That means production department as well as service department. This is known as primary distribution of overheads. And for this purpose, we need some basis of apportionment. That means for electric power, kilowatt hours, we use electric power for machinery, not lighting. Electric light is another thing. For distributing lighting charges, electric lights, number of light points is a basis. This is a just supporting information. We need to take decision as per situation. Delivery expenses, weight and volume of material, weight and volume of things we deliver, depreciation, capital value of asset, audit fee, sales or total cost, supervision, number of employees, rent, rates, depreciation, repairs, insurance, area occupied by each department, storekeeping, weight, value of material handled, canteen, recreation, number of employees. This is a just guideline. See here, allocation plus apportionment is known as primary distribution. Then what we do here, see again, your Fevicol. We have to transfer Fevicol, expenditure of Fevicol to your A department, B department, C department. And you know it very well. A department is a production department, B department is a production department, C department is a production department, and in D department there is a nil. Why? Because indirect material, the charges of indirect material, see here is a basis. So section of basis is a nil, ratio nil. Why? Because this is a allocation. Allocation, here we can write direct. डायरेक्ट का मतलब क्या है, आपको पता था ये किसका एक्सपेंडिचर है, आपने परचेस रिक्विजिशन से ये मालूम किया कि ये किसका एक्सपेंडिचर है, तो इसका ए डिवीजन का परचेस रिक्विजिशन था 5 kg फेविकॉल का, तो ये यहाँ पे ट्रांसफर कर दिया. बी डिपार्टमेंट का भी आपको मिला परचेस रिक्विजिशन. विद द हेल्प ऑफ परचेस रिक्विजिशन we can easily understand which department's requirement is this, and so Fevicol charges we directly transfer to C department, and that is why the basis, the here this square is a nil. Here see your ratio. Okay. See here, your rent of 4 departments, 400, 400, sorry, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, and 4,000. You distributed rent with the help of basis of apportionment, that is area occupied by each department. That means 400 square foot, 400 square feet, 400 square feet, 400 square feet, and the ratio of this 400, 400, 400, 400, that is 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1. And total 16,000 rent you distributed in the ratio 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1, that is 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, and 4,000. Total overheads. Total overheads according to primary distribution of overheads. 4,500, 4,500, total of this 4,500, 4,500. And this is known as apportionment and allocation. And total combined allocation and apportionment is known as primary distribution. Allocation plus apportionment is equal to primary distribution of overheads. And in next lesson, we will learn about secondary distribution or reapportionment of overheads. That is why this is a accounting treatment of overhead. Accounting of overhead. The first stage, classification, collection, codification, collection, after collection, allocation, apportionment, and then now reapportionment of overheads.